Hey, best friend. So, listen, let me tell you about the time that my ex husband tried to unalive me. Okay, y'all. So, this was in 2015. I was like 2 or 3 weeks from having a baby, my second child, which is my last child. And he kept wanting to go out. He wanted to go out, have a good time with me. And I was just like, no, I just had a baby. And he was starting to get mad and like, come on, go out with me. Like, I want to have fun with you and da 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 da. So I was like, you know what? Fine, because he kept asking, even though I just wasn't in the mood. I just wanted to stay inside with my baby. So then I proceeded to get dressed and we stepped out. We went to like this little bar that was like in the same neighborhood as his mama house. And we went to that bar. We're having a good time from what I remember. Like, we wasn't arguing or nothing. We was, the music was going pop, pop, pop. You know what I'm saying? I was, sitting on a stool at the bar. So I was just, dancing to myself and just having a good time. I remember us laughing and everything. So I'm just not sure what the heck happened. So we having a good time. And all of a sudden, he pushes me off of the stool. Now, y'all, when he pushed me off the stool, I was like, what the, you know what I'm saying? Like, what just happened? Like, at this point, I am clueless. I have no idea what the heck just happened. What made him flip so fast? What did I say? What did I do? I didn't do anything or say anything. I thought genuinely we were just having a good time. Ciao. I felt so embarrassed because that bar was packed. So I got my happy ass up, which I was not happy. Let me be clear. I got up and I walked up out of there. At that time, he had followed me, and as he's following me, he's like screaming and howling. And I stopped, turned around because I was gonna give him the. I'm sick of you. I am sick of you. But anyways, so I turn around. We're fussing, going back and forth because I'm trying to figure out what happened. Why'd you do that? Blah blah blah. So he proceeds to throw a Heineken bottle at me. Yo, he threw a Heineken bottle at me, but it did not hit me. It like hit the ground next to my foot. I saw a bottle, another bottle that was like in the grass. I picked that mother up and chucked it at his. Because what you not gonna do is you not gonna sit out here and you not gonna play with me. I just had a baby and you playing with me and you playing on my top. No, baby boy, we about to go at it. Like at that time and at that point, I was fed up and I was just like, if we was gonna go to blows, we was gonna go to blows. Like, it's time to go. It's time to fight. Like, you wanna fight? You wanna fight? And mind you, he's not used to that girl. He's used to the girl that's quiet, don't say nothing, don't argue back. I always just like, if he did something to me, you know what I'm saying, to myself, I would cry about it when I'm not around him. And I just wouldn't really say much because I was the quiet girl. I just wasn't that girl. So after that, after I chunked that bottle back at him, some guys came up, try to like defend me or whatever. They going to blows, they going at it. So I was like, you know what? His mama house is the nearest house. Her door is always unlocked. I'm about to go to her house. So I went to her house. I sat in the living room in the dark, and he came up in there. Again, wanted to scream, fuss, fight, do all of that. Me and him, we scrapping, we tussling, we turning. He choking me. I'm pushing back. We all against the door, the sofa, the wall. I mean, we tussling. Now, mind you, I still don't have no idea why we tussling. I don't know why we tussling. I don't know why we fighting. I don't know what's going on. Like, at this point, I'm also tired because I had just had a baby. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to fuss. I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. Like, my body is tired. I literally just pushed out a baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? My body, I just couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't tussle and do all of that. I didn't even have enough strength, you guys. Like, I didn't have no strength. Like, where's my muscles? So after that, he makes me get in the car because he makes it as like we're going home. Because at this point, I'm like, I'm just ready to get home to my 2 kids. I'm ready to go to sleep. I don't want to deal with you no more. I just, I'm done. At this point, like I said, I'm just thinking that we're going to the house. His grandmother lived 5 minutes away driving. So I'm thinking, you don't have to take no interstate. You don't have to take no major highways or anything. You don't have to do anything. It's just down the street. Y'all, while we on the highway, he's doing hundreds on a highway, driving crazy, threatening to push me out of the car while he's going 100 miles an hour, trying to take my seatbelt off, trying to open the door. And at this time, I'm praying to God that you know what I'm saying, he, like, that I'd be okay in this situation. But at the same time, I was like thinking in my head, well, can I, duck and roll? Like, I'm like, maybe I can do you know what I'm saying? All I can think of, I think it's like, when you're in that situation, you're scared, but you're also trying to also figure out how you're going to come out alive. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? Think about the movies, you know what I'm saying? Like when you could like put your legs over his head and twist his back. I don't know, y'all. Listen, I was trying to figure out a way that I can, you know what I'm saying, survive. Because at this time, it's like, okay, God. I feel like even in my head, I also did like a prayer, like kind of like thinking, okay, this is the ending. Just praying that he keep my kids safe. Just stuff like that, like trying to find peace with maybe not going back home to my kids, basically. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm trying to figure out, maybe I can, like when he slowed down a little bit, let me tuck and roll and jump out the car. I wouldn't have made it, y'all. So, he then turns around. We go back home. And on the way back home, he's driving normal. Like nothing ever happened. And that's the time when I feel like I should have tucked, duck, and roll. Like I should have jumped out the car. So we get back to the house. Before we get there, he's in the car and he's saying how much he loves me. He's sorry. He wasn't really going to do anything. He was just angry. And at that time, I just couldn't even ask him what he was angry for, because at that time it no longer mattered. It did not matter if you were what you were upset about, because I didn't do anything to you. And at that time, I was now silent. I was speechless. I had no words. We got home. I didn't even shower. I literally just got in the bed and tried to cry. I literally cried my way to sleep. Tried to go to sleep. And I think he left back out. The next day, he tried to talk to me, and he wanted to, you know what I'm saying, I love you and all of this, fix me food. I didn't eat anything from him. I wasn't talking. I don't think I talked I didn't say a word to anybody the whole day, the whole next day. Not his grandmother, not him. I think the only person I talked to was my 2-year-old, or he was actually my 1-year-old. And it was like, hugging him a lot and, just dealing with his tantrums and everything like that. But other than that, I didn't say 2 words. His grandmother was trying to figure out what was going on. I had nothing. I was just tired, y'all. But I was feeling like, I have to go to Texas because I gave up my 3-bedroom house. I have nowhere to go. I have no car now. I gave up my job. I'm just thinking about all of this stuff, and it's like, I cannot not go to Texas, because if I stay here, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? I just had a baby, another baby. I have 2 kids. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. Like, so many thoughts is going through my head as to why I ended up still going to Texas. And then going to Texas only made it worse. So, ended up going to Texas. Got to Texas. Things was okay for a moment. It was a short moment, y'all. That things, you know what I'm saying, like 2 months. And then he started with his antics again. It was the always want to threaten me, just want to do the most. I think he threatened to ping me, and then I was like, basically, I was like, Ninja, I basically threatened him back, like, because in my mind, I was going to do something to him in his sleep, basically. If I couldn't overpower him when we were both awake, then I was just going to have to wait till he was asleep, basically. And I wasn't playing. I was serious, like, yeah. But he was always threatening me, always taking out his fumes because of course he was in the military. And just one day he was cleaning his stuff and taking out his gun, taking out his fumes, and acting like he was going to clean them, but also trying to, tell me that he's in the military and that if he do harm me, that he would get off because he would plead insanity, basically. And the military wasn't going to do anything about it. So there's that. So so at this point, I'm sitting on the sofa minding my business. He just keep coming to try to irritate me, and I'm just like, listen, leave me alone. Like, leave me alone. So I'm like throwing all types of jabs at him because he just won't leave me alone. So then he started with the threats again. So I was like, you know what? F this. I stepped outside. I said, listen, I called his superior. I said, listen, now there's a couple of choices. Y'all could get here within 5 minutes and come and get him. And I told him I told them what he was saying. I said, or the authorities is going to come get him, or someone is going to get seriously hurt up in here. I said, there's 2 babies here. Somebody's going to get hurt if y'all don't come now. Like, at this point, I'm pleading for them to come because I'm like, I'm going to hurt this boy. Like, come and get him. They came. They made him pack up his stuff. He had to leave. They were explaining to him that he cannot come back to the house at all. The only time he could come back is when he was bringing groceries for me and the kids, and he would be escorted by military police. If he do come to the house, then they will put him in the brig. So, so he was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. He called a couple times just telling me that he loved me. He would never hurt me. He loved me. Just same old, same old, same old. I mean, listen, revolving door at this point. Just the same old, same old. So yeah, it was a lot. I wound up maybe 2 months later coming back to New Orleans. But when I came back, it's the same situation. I didn't have anywhere to go. My mom was like, maybe you should go stay in the shelter. I did that. Very tough situation. My kid's grandfather on their dad's side ended up helping out. Got us a little something to stay at until, it wasn't the best place. It was a little shack with concrete floors, but it was better than the shelter. Stayed there for another 2-3 months until I saved up some money, and then I got an apartment, and then it was on from there. So wound up getting divorced in 2016. And I was just ready for it to be over. I didn't want to be with him anymore. I just wanted it to be over. Like, I didn't really fight hard for anything. I just wanted it to end. I didn't want any more ties to him. I was already tied by the kids, and that's it. 2 weeks later, after the divorce was final, he got married again to his second wife. And now he's with his third wife. But that's another story for another day. I got to tell you about them too. Because see this now wife? Oh, I got to tell you about her. Because I thought I liked her. But she a trip. And I'm going to tell y'all why in another story time. Because that story about what recently happened, child, we gonna talk. But anyways, but yeah, that's a little, it was a little much. Like, it was, the whole thing was a lot going on. But yeah, I had my times when I was gonna fight. I was fighting back. I was. But yeah, we was scrapping, okay? Because even though I was a little weak and I had just had a baby, I was gonna scrap, okay? We gonna fight. But anyways, that's the little story, y'all, of when my ex-husband trying to pee me. Of course, it's more detailed, but sorry, y'all, my kids ran in. But anyways, yeah. So of course it was a lot more to it, as in the situation. I just kind of like gave y'all like the roundabout, but the details of how bad it got before I called the people was to the point to where I wasn't feared for my life, but I had to, if I act as scared as I really was, it could have been worse. So basically I was terrified, but I had to play it like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get it. I had to play it like I'm a little bit afraid, but stop playing with me before I hurt you too. Like, I had to let him know that he wasn't going to be the only one hurting someone. You know what I'm saying? Because I was going to fight back. Now, if he would have took the pew pew and, you know, shot it, then, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe there is no fighting back, but at the end of the day, I was going to fight for my life, and I was going to fight for my kids' life, because he was going to try this in front of them. So yeah, anyways, that's the story. That's the story time. Next time I'm gonna do something a little more lighthearted. Maybe the story about him and his non-wife, well, me and his non-wife. I'm gonna probably do a story time about that, because yeah, we're gonna talk about her. But anyways, that's it. That's the story. That's the time that he tried to pew me and in front of my children, and I divorced that Negro, and that's what it is. Okay, thank you, besties. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.